Hello, welcome to Jason the Old Millennial. My name is Jason. We're here in my parents' basement in the great state of Kansas, and I got my friends Scott from Sound Lab Studios in the great state of Texas, and we got Nick Townsend 505 from the great state of Pennsylvania. So, coming to talk more about some of our favorite albums that we put together kind of as a group. And also including Adam from What the Gym is also included in this. So the four of us ranking our 100 favorite albums, and this is kind of combination of the lists. And we're now to 20 through 11 on the list. So, I mean, these are really good albums, obviously, that I think we're going to agree on for the most part. There's a couple that I know we're not going to agree on, but for the most part, we're going to agree on these albums. It's funny, when we get to this top 20, it's like, we haven't had to talk about the Beatles or Queen as much, but we are going to be talking about the Beatles and the Queen in this video. I'll tell you that right now. They all kind of bunched up together here towards the front. Funny enough, I guess. So I'm giving a little bit of spoilers, but we'll see what albums they are. Anyways, but yeah, how are you guys doing?
Doing good.
It's good. We haven't been together in a little while, it feels like.
Been kind of a busy season with Thanksgiving and everything.
Yeah, we just had Thanksgiving here in America. So, yeah, getting over that. It's getting cold here.
I've been moving, so you might be wondering, like, oh, why's the background look different?
You're right, yeah. Yeah, that's right. You moved, so that was a big deal. We got snow yesterday here in Kansas. Not much, but a little bit. So definitely getting into the winter season. Probably not Texas, but maybe in Pennsylvania. You guys are getting snow.
Feels like it's gonna snow. It's cold out there.
It's like 20 degrees outside. Yeah, it's cold. All right. So we're gonna talk about 10 albums. I have 9 of the 10 albums on vinyl, so I can showcase them. We'll see what ones we got here. And yeah, so I guess without that, we get to number 20 on the list. I'll show it here. You might have heard this album. You might be familiar with it. Just maybe the biggest Beatles album of all time. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band came out in '67. I want to say this is maybe the best-selling album during their time period.
One of them. They all sold like 1 million copies.
Yeah. I just know this was a really big deal, like when this album came out, obviously. What's interesting, I guess I'll get to who put on the list here. We have Adam had it at number 34 on his list. I have it at number 90. I have it the lowest out of 3 people that on the list. Scott has it the highest at number 3. So definitely a big one for Scott. This is one where Scott loves this album. Nick, not so much. I'm kind of in the middle on this album. It's actually not one of my favorite Beatles albums, but it did make my list. Funny enough. And I mean, what's interesting about this album, I'll just say a little bit, is I mean, it's the only album that won Grammy Album of the Year. So it has that to say about the Beatles. Put that on there, why this album's, a big album. But also for a long time growing up, anytime we talked about the greatest album of all time, usually Sgt. Pepper's came up as number 1 for quite a while. I remember as a kid, I used to watch VH1's like 100 Greatest Albums videos, and Sgt. Pepper's would be number 1. For a long time, Rolling Stone's 500 Greatest Albums, Sgt. Pepper was number 1 for quite a while. And then in 2020, they changed it all up. And
I read the news today. Oh boy.
They put the Marvin Gaye album number 1. It's been number 1 since 2020. And Sgt. Pepper's went from like number 1. You think it would go from number 1 to like number 2 or something like that. But no, I think it went down the list quite a bit. So I don't know what happened there. It used to be, reviled as like, or I don't know if that's the right word. It used to be, this very sacred like album that everybody agreed. And I think it's because of the Beatles. The Beatles are considered the greatest band. And this is considered like their magnus opus as a band. So this was always like the number one album, but it's kind of gone down lately. It's not considered maybe the best album anymore, but it used to be. So it's kind of interesting. But we still have it number 20, so it's still pretty high on our list as a combination. Thanks a lot to Scott putting it number 3 on his list. Obviously, really helped that. Sergeant Pepper's go to number 20. Yeah, for me, I know, and Scott, we've talked about this album quite a bit because we've done I just watched us do this video not too long ago.
Yeah, just did the I'm calling it the reissue series. I feel like a like a record label that bought a smaller record label and is reissuing, an artist's music, but I'm reissuing Jacob's music reviews. Yeah. We got the reissued Sgt. Pepper review that was released not too long ago.
Yeah, it's funny watching that because, like I said, there's a lot of 10s and some not 10s on that video. It was a little divisive, maybe, especially a certain song about being 64 was like maybe the most divisive song.
Oh, that has one of the best moments in any of our videos when Nick and Ryan are just going at it over when I'm 64.
I loved it. It was great.
I love that moment. It's so funny.
Because I kind of side more with Nick on it. I'm not a big fan of the song.
And then I was with Ryan on that. Like what? You don't love that song?
But I know Jacob loved that song, I think. Yeah, and Ryan. Anyway, so it's kind of funny how that song goes. Yeah, it's kind of I don't know, and someone will correct me, but it's like, to me, it's like it was partly a concept album, but I don't know if it really turned out totally a concept album, but it kind of started out as like this, we're not the Beatles, we're Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, we're this other band, and this is our album, and we're like maybe live because we have crowd noises and the first song or whatever, or the transition from Sgt. Pepper's to A Little Help from My Friends, there's like cheering, so it's like kind of a concept of like it's a live album maybe. And then even like the reprise of Sgt. Pepper's towards the end kind of was like, hey, we're at the end of the concert, hope you enjoyed the show. So it has a little bit of a concept through it, but I don't know. I've heard some people say it is, some people say it isn't. I feel like it's partly a concept album, but I don't know.
I feel like it's as much of a concept album as you want it to be. If you want it to be a concept album, then it's like, this isn't the Beatles, it's Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, and they start their show, they follow it up with A Little Help from My Friends, they play the show with all these songs, then they do their big finale with the reprise, and then their encore is A Day in the Life. Or you could just be like, this is what the Beatles sound like on drugs. It's as much of a concept album as you want it to be.
Yeah.
That's just about the concept. I've said a whole lot about this album. This is the first ever studio album that I ever listened to. The cool thing about this album is that it was just a major turning point. Before this, you all saw, everybody saw the Beatles as, the mop tops and the suits. And, they were doing stuff like I Want to Hold Your Hand and Please Please Me, A Hard Day's Night. They were like the biggest pop act in the world, where you go to the concert, you got all the screaming girls. They were on Ed Sullivan. Everybody loved their music. And then Revolver comes out, and some of the songs are similar. Like you got some love songs on there, like Here, There, and Everywhere. But then you got some experimentation as well. But their image is still very much like, what it was. This album right here, and then I'll start with the Strawberry Fields Forever single that came out slightly before it. You see that, and you get this album, and it's like, what happened to them? Like they changed, but it's for the better. You put this on, and it's like, this is, and I think that's what the concept is this is almost like a completely different band. The music on this band, they think, oh, this doesn't sound like what people think, quote unquote, the Beatles sound like. So if it's not what the Beatles sound like, well, I guess then it's what Sgt. Pepper's band sounds like or whatever. But it's amazing. I've gone in depth on each of the songs, so I'm not going to go in depth song by song on this album. But I'm just going to say it's best listened to as a whole, even though you can pick songs and listen to them and they'll be amazing on their own, especially stuff like Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds or the absolute masterpiece that is A Day in the Life that I don't need to say anything more about because I've talked a lot about that song on a review. But when you listen to it as a whole, it really just elevates the listening experience. And to quote the back of the album cover and the lyrics of "For the Benefit of Mr. Kite," a splendid time is guaranteed for all. So you just put it on, sit back, relax, and enjoy it.
Yeah. What do you think, Nick?
Um, I said what I said on my review. I'll let you guys go on Scotch Channel.
If you didn't see the review, he likes
Yeah.
most of the album, but not Good Morning, or When I'm 64. Spoiler alert. And he loves Within You Without You.
Right. Nick's a bigger fan of that, while I'm not a big fan of that.
That was like the one song me and Jason really disagreed on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like all of it. So I
Well,
like
it's
When
fun.
I'm 64 and Within You Without You.
It feels like this is when Paul McCartney's starting to take over the band a little bit. It feels like this more.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Before albums like Hard Day's Night, Help, those albums seem very John Lennon dominated. You get Rubber Soul and Revolver, and those two albums are like pretty much half and half McCartney and Lennon. And then after that, it seems like you get more Paul. So it's like the Revolver and Rubber Soul was like the change of the guard there, which I don't know if we're going to be talking about any of those albums, so I'm gonna keep my mouth shut about any of those albums, but we'll find out.
I mean, well, Getting Better is a Paul song. Fixing a Hole, She's Leaving Home.
I'm 64, Lovely Rita, even Sergeant Pepper the song.
The Rita. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of somewhat dominated by Paul McCartney at this time.
50% of Day in the Life too.
Yeah, I think John was maybe dealing too much with LSD, maybe, and wasn't as involved. And maybe his mind was other places at this time. I don't know. I find that kind of interesting. I always feel like this was like Paul McCartney's like genius or something, in some senses.
Yeah, this one's kind of his brainchild.
Yes, exactly. Because he came up with the concept idea of the name idea. I mean, obviously John puts in A Day in the Life and Lucy and Sky
with Diamonds.
Really good stuff. I mean, that's good stuff there. So I think that's interesting. I think it's also interesting. Harrison, it was not a good album for him. He only gets one song on after getting 3 songs on Revolver.
Yeah, him and Ringo weren't very happy with the sessions. They said that Paul and John were writing the songs in the studio and working through what the piano or the guitar was going to sound like, and him and Ringo would just sit in there playing chess while they were talking that over.
Yeah, it wasn't much involvement there. George actually puts the song. The first song he put on here actually was only a Northern song, I think, and they basically said, "Nah, we're not going to put that on the album." And they kind of rejected it, and it, of course, came on Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, if that was on there instead of Within You Without You, I wouldn't have liked it as much because I'm not a big fan of only a Northern song.
Yeah, it's nothing great, but Within You Without You, then he must have came out with that right after that, and they said, yeah, this will work. It's definitely his most Indian, that and Inner Light maybe, or the most Indian influence songs maybe. It's also the longest song on the album. So it's kind of a weak album for George, a little bit for me. I mean, after Revolver, and all that. But anyways, and then Ringo gets actually probably his best song up to this point.
Yeah.
A little help from my friends, so I mean that's good for Ringo. But yeah, I think definitely this deserves to be up there for its cultural influence, I guess, or pop culture influence, or I mean, just the cover itself is just one of the greatest covers of all time. Iconic, the outfits, iconic fashion statement there. So I'm happy it's in the top 20 here. It's definitely belongs.
And the reason I put it at number 3, which it would probably be number 2 now if I was to remake the list, is because it really shaped the way I listen to music now. I have a distinct moment of the way I listened to music before and after Sgt. Pepper. Before it was I'm going to download the music off of iTunes and I got to buy the songs for $1.29, and then sometimes it was like, oh, there's these streaming, and you can pick whatever song you want. I'll just make these playlists and stuff. And then after Sergeant Pepper, that's when I started collecting records, because it's the first record in my collection. And it's like, oh, you gotta listen to all the songs on the album, because Sergeant Pepper, as I said earlier, listening to it as a whole elevates the experience.
My friend Norin. What up, y'all? Great to catch you live before I head to work. Yeah, have a good night of work. I know Norin works the night shifts. Have a good night at work. All right, number 19 is the one album I don't have, and that is Escape by Journey.
Oh, that's
pretty good for Journey, because I don't know if we talk a lot. Well, we talk a little bit about Journey on.
We just haven't started our Journey series yet.
We haven't done Journey.
I know we're gonna do one eventually. It's inevitable.
A lot of good albums. This is one that's actually fairly new to me. I just kind of discovered this album in the last year or so. And as soon as I heard it, I was like, yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 album. This is amazing. Like, it's one of those things where as soon as you hear it, you're like, yeah, this is one of the great albums. So I immediately put it on my top 100 albums list when I just, was kind of fairly new to it. I had it at number 47 on my list. Nick had it at number 53. And Scott had it at number 15. So another pretty big one for Scott. Me and Nick are around the same area on ours, like about halfway through our list. Anyway, so I don't have the album, so I can't talk about it as much. So I don't know if one of you can talk about it a little more. I
have another deep history with this album, which explains why it's so high. I, in high school, listened to this because I had listened to Journey, but then I told you I had the before the Sgt. Pepper's and after Sgt. Pepper's. And the after Sgt. Pepper's listening style was, okay, I got to find the Journey song or the Journey album that has like a lot of songs that I know, so I can find other songs that sound like that. So I picked this album because it's got a lot of their big songs, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. And man, it's just so good. This is their biggest selling album for a reason. Every song on this album probably could have been, and probably actually was, a hit. Neil Sean is at the top of his game, guitar wise. It's whenever you get the band in their most famous lineup, and then of course you got the voice, Steve Perry on vocals. Dude is a monster vocalist.
Yeah.
Great drumming and bass playing too by the bass player Ross Valerie and the drummer Steve Smith. And of course, the piano played by Jonathan Cain, who this was his first album with the band, which that just shows how big his contributions were to the band. That first album he joins is their biggest selling album. He wrote or co-wrote a lot of the biggest songs on this album as well, including Open Arms was his composition, which if that's like the first song you write for a band, that's really, well, he was with a band before called The Babies, but they were kind of a more moderately successful band. But I mean, you open up with Don't Stop Believing. Don't even need to say anything more about that song. We've all heard it a million times, but like, it's one of those ones that like, you don't want to change the station when you hear that, because it's like, it's just too good. Stone in Love, one of the best guitar riffs I've ever heard. The guitar solo at the end is probably one of my 10 favorite guitar solos, just because it like makes the hair on my arms stand up every time. It's like you can just feel the emotion in it there at the end. Who's Crying Now? Another great song, great ballad. Love the piano on that. I love the bass, and I love the more simple melodic guitar solo at the end. Keep on Running, solid rocker. Still They Ride, very underrated song. Probably has the most complicated guitar solo on the record, even though it's a ballad. It's another great song. The title song, Escape, that one rocks. Wanted Dead or Alive, Lay It Down. Those are great songs. Lay It Down has like the highest Steve Perry note in any Journey song, where Steve Perry actually uses his falsetto voice, which whenever Steve Perry is singing in his full chest voice and it's way up high, you can only imagine what he would sing like in his falsetto voice. And then Mother Father is a very underrated song. I've always loved that one. That's been one of my favorites on the album. I like the guitar solos on that. I love the vocals. Steve Perry just went into the vocal booth and did it in one take. And of course, Open Arms, beautiful ballad. It is very much a 10 out of 10 album.
Yeah, the opening closer itself is just one of the best, I think.
Yeah.
Most like two of the most iconic songs probably from Journey on this album.
Oh, at least two. You got
At
"Don't
least
Stop Believing," "Open Arms," and "Who's Crying Now." That's at least three big ones. But then you got some other hidden gems like "Still They Ride," "Stone in Love," "Mother Father." Those are three kind of not as known songs, but if you're a Journey fan, those three songs are like they're known amongst Journey fans, but not like casual listeners.
what do you think, Nick?
This album's awesome. I mean, I forgot where I placed it on my original list, but I had it pretty high.
Yeah.
This is an album I always really like. This is one of the first albums I ever heard. I think it might be the first album I've ever really listened to on my own. I remember listening to it on an iPod. you know, uh,
Back in the day.
Okay.
we'll play Where's Waldo on the iPod. There's a game Where's Waldo. They don't have it anymore, but it was like a digital game
Really?
of Where's Waldo. It was pretty fun. And Don't Stop Believing, great song. Stone in Love, always been one of my favorites on the album. I wasn't crazy about Who's Crying Now at first when I was younger, but I was a kid back then. I wasn't into like the slower stuff.
Right.
Well, not entirely, but I don't know why I just didn't like this as a kid. But of course, my opinion on this song has drastically changed now. It's a great song. The guitar on that song is great. Keep on Running. That was my favorite on the album when I first heard it. I don't know why. Maybe it was because of his vocals, or I don't know. It's not even close to being my favorite now, but still a really good song. Still They Ride, another one of my favorites. Still always has been one of my favorites. I'll admit side 2 is a little weaker compared to the first side. Not that it's weak. I think every song on this side's great as well. Escape, really good title track. Lay It Down, it is my least favorite song on the album, but it's still good. Dead or Alive, that's pretty awesome. Mother Father, one of my favorites on the album, great deep cut. And of course, we close the album on a really classic Open Arms song. Overall, really great group of songs, and really great album.
Yeah, it's interesting because I know Journey started off. I almost want to say they had a journey of themselves of like being just a kind of more of a rock band, and then now we're seeing more ballads maybe around this time.
Well,
and they can do both like really well.
Journey actually, it's really weird. Journey started as Santana, basically. You're gonna think this is really weird. A lot of the members of Santana became
sense.
Journey. Neil Sean and this is a guitar. Carlos Santana was the main guitar player, but Neil Sean was the second guitar player, and Greg Raleigh was his keyboard player. And they kind of left Santana because, of course, Santana. He's like, I'm the guitar player. And Neil Sean's like, well, I want to do my thing. And he got to jamming with Greg Raleigh, and they're like, we could probably make our own band. I think they took the drummer with them too. The drummer was only with them for the first like 4 albums or so. His name was like Ainsley Dunbar or something like that. They were more of a jam band. They weren't really about the melody. It was more about the jamming because Santana was a jam band. Neil Sean, I just watched an interview with Rick Beato where he interviewed Neil Sean. It was a really cool video. He talked about basically every era of the band, and he talked a little bit about the early days and was like, he was really big into Clapton and Cream.
That makes sense.
And he said that he wasn't really big into what they played on the radio. He was more of an improviser and a jam artist, but he did like the Beatles. He said that Rubber Soul was one of his favorite albums, and that got him into music. But the main people he was into are the people who would go into long instrumental sections like Clapton. He said Clapton was his hero. And so kind of coming out of Santana and being a jam band, it's really weird because all of a sudden you get Steve Perry on Infinity, which is like their 4th or 5th album. I think it's their 4th album. It's really cool though in that interview the way that he described it, because instead of saying we went more commercial, what he said is that whenever we got Steve, the music just naturally became more vocal oriented, because with that kind of a voice, you have to build the song around the vocals rather than them instruments. Because obviously Steve Perry's voice is just amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously we're getting songs that are focused more on Steve Perry's voice rather than the jamming, but the great instrumentals are still there. That outro to Stone in Love is something else.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think when I think of Journey, I think of the ballads, but then I forget that, oh yeah, they can rock it out, and the guitar playing is amazing, yeah, too. So that's what's so cool. And this is the only Journey album we have on the list, I'm pretty sure.
Oh wow.
Which it's kind of the big one. I mean, it's the one I think everybody thinks about. And I haven't deep dived Journey, so
I'd like to put Frontiers on this list, but it falls off real bad on the second side.
I was trying to think. Frontiers, I think I heard a little bit of.
Frontiers, side one, you listen to it and you're like, this is going to be better than Escape. And then it falls off so bad on side two. And you're like, no, I thought this was going to be my new favorite Journey album.
Actually, I like the second side. I mean,
I like, what's the name of the song? The Edge of the Blade and Troubled Child. Those are cool. Back Talk sucks.
I like the title track. I like the title track though.
Title track's all right. Rubicon is decent. 2 decent songs, a terrible song, and then 2 pretty good songs. But when you get the first side is just Separate Ways, Send Her My Love, Chain Reaction, After the Fall, and Faithfully. Like that was like a perfect 5-song run.
Yeah. To be fair, I think all 5 of those songs were the singles.
Maybe it would have benefited from a different running order instead of putting all the singles up front, and B, swapping 2 of the weaker songs they had 2 other songs, Ask the Lonely and Only the Young, which are much better, but they didn't put them on the album because they saved them for movie soundtracks, which is really dumb.
Yeah, so I need to listen to some more Journey. Maybe there's be some more albums that might get up my list, but right now, just Escape so far. All right, number 18, I think we're at. Number 18 is...
That's a good one.
Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme by Simon Garfunkel. I don't know if this is talked about as much as Bridge Over Troubled Waters and Bookends, probably the 2 that are talked about the most, but this is like becoming like, I know me and Nick, this is becoming like one of our favorite albums. It's good. It's been going up my list personally. Every time I hear it, it goes up higher and higher. And I know Nick has it even higher than me.
I think we both didn't give it a 10, but I think we both give it 10s now.
Let me look at where we put it. Let's see. So Adam has it at 67. I have it at 33 on my list, and Nick has it number 9. So this is the top 10 album on Nick's list. So to show how far it went up on his list. So yeah, really amazing album. I mean, if you like Simon Garfunkel, this is my second favorite album. I think it's Nick's favorite album from them, and definitely a must. This actually was Briar bought me this, so thanks, Briar. The big stuff is I think Scarborough Fair, Homeward Bound is definitely maybe the biggest song on here. 59th Street Bridge Song, Feeling Groovy. I would say those are the 3 big ones that you probably have heard of, but then there's a lot of other good stuff, and I'll give it to Nick since you have the highest.
Nick is the one that loves this album the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, I love this song. I love this album. To me, it's their best album. We just mentioned. First off, you start off with the Scarborough Fair. Oh my God, that's such a good song. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Like those harmonies, man.
The harmonies are so good.
Oh my God. Like some of the best harmonies you could get ever.
Yes.
So good. Patterns, it's not one of my favorites, but it's cool. It's psychedelic. It's mostly Paul Simon on this one. I think it's a weird follow up after that song, but it's still a cool song though. To me, the real follow up should have been Cloudy. Ooh, Cloudy.
Yeah.
Dark. This is, in my opinion, a dark horse. There's a lot of dark horse songs in this album, but this is one of them. This is a dark horse song. Not many people talk about this one. It's really underrated. Cloudy. Ba, 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 Cloudy. Oh my God. This song is awesome. It's really, really good. Such a good song. Then you follow it up with Homeward Bound.
Yeah.
Oh, another one that makes you go, damn, this song is so good.
Yeah.
I love that song, Homeward Bound. I think you follow that up with, it's a pretty funny song. Green, like something like big
bright green pleasure machine.
Yes. Yeah.
I wonder what they're talking about on that song.
I just think about marijuana when I think of it.
I'm like, what's green and is making Paul Simon very happy around this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fun song though. Then you close out the first side with Feeling Groovy. Da 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 da. Feeling Groovy. Another big highlight on the album.
All three big hits are on the first side. Now look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you follow that up on the second side with the fan favorite, Dangling Conversation. It's a great song. Then you get another dark horse song on the album, which is Flowers Never Bend with the Rainfall, I think it's called.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Mend. Rainfall. I know it's somewhere around those lines. That's great. That's another dark horse song in their discography. I know the great harmonies with the shadows falling deep. Bum 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 bum. With Garfunkel. Oh, great harmonies on that one. Then you follow up with the Bob Dylan inspired.
I don't even know how to say the name of that song.
The simple something prolific or something like that. It's like
I know the parenthesis is how I was Robert McNamara into submission.
Yeah. Somewhere around those lines.
It's weird.
It's a weird title.
It's supposed to be, I think, a joke on how Bob Dylan on the back of all of his albums have like poems that make no sense.
Oh, really?
I've been Phil Spector resurrected. Like Bob Dylan tribute at its best.
He sounds exactly like Bob Dylan.
He does. I love when he says, like, I've been Art Garfunkeled.
Yeah. I've been Rolling Stone and Beatles.
Dylan Tom or something. I forget. He says something.
When you say Dylan, he thinks you're talking about Dylan Thomas. Whoever that was. Man ain't got no culture.
Yeah, man not got no
culture. But it's all right, Ma. Everybody's gonna get stoned. Classic song. And you follow that up with Flowers, something with Emily. Can you tell me the title of that one?
For Emily, whenever I may find her. That
song. Oh my! This is a Garfunkel only song.
Yeah. And
this is another dark horse song, and they have a lot of dark horse songs, but this album especially has like the most dark horse songs. Cloudy, Flowers Never Bend with the Rainfall, and this song. These are like the three like most underrated songs in their discography.
It's like the best song nobody knows about.
It's so good. It's so good. I didn't care for it at first, but the more I listen to the album, the more it's becoming my favorite song, not only on this album, but in their discography. I really love this song. It's such a beautiful song. And Garfunkel, second best vocal performance on a Simon Garfunkel song, in my opinion. Yeah. Number one being, of course, Bridge Over Troubled Water.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I can't. I mean, those are like the two best Garfunkel performances, in my opinion. Yeah. Then you can you tell me the name of the next song? Because I was
the poem on the underground wall.
Yes, the harmonies on that one too. Oh my god, so good. It's the harmonies on that one's great as well. Oh, I mean the harmonies alone, great stuff. And last but not least, you got 7 o'clock news.
Yeah, a nice
Great
Christmas song.
stuff. It's great stuff. It's great. It's great stuff. And yeah, really great way to close out the album. I don't have to.
Oh,
If you've heard
amazing.
the album, you know why. But if you never heard the album before, just listen to it. Listen to the album and listen to the song at the end, and you'll know why.
Haunting stuff.
Yeah,
Haunting stuff indeed.
Silent Night's a beautiful song. It's a great closer to the album. Yeah, I almost want to say it's an underrated album because no one's gonna put it on their list. Like I don't see this on the top 100 list. Or I don't know if it's even in Rolling Stone's 500 list. Who knows? But it should be on the list somewhere. I mean, I feel like at least 4 of the, if not all 5 Simon Garfunkel albums should be considered on the list somewhere. They're all good in some sense. All right, number 17, and believe me, the big hits are not going to stop here because we got
These
Hotel.
are like the top 20 albums, right?
Yeah, pretty big album.
I keep thinking, are we gonna get an album where I'm gonna be like, I'll just be brief on my thoughts with this one, but then it's like Sgt. Pepper, Escape, Hotel California.
I think this sold quite a bit of records, if I remember right.
I got the light back there.
This is definitely the biggest album, I would say, by Eagles. I can't even think of anything that would come close maybe to this album on top of my head. There's other good albums, but this is like the album that people talk about.
That's the one.
And let me see where we put this. Adam had it at number 62. Scott had it at number 26. I have it at number 16. So it's almost top 15 album for me. I think it's that good. And it's funny, when I first heard it, I thought it was like pretty good. I remember I was like, obviously it's the album everybody talks about. And I was like, and obviously Hotel California is actually my favorite Eagles song. So it helps the album for me. And it's an amazing song. And I'm trying to think, does it even, I don't have a track listing on
New
here.
Kid in Town is the next
Is that
song.
the album, Hotel California?
Hotel California is first, and then New Kid in Town, and then Life in the Fast Lane.
Yeah, so they hit you with the big song right at the beginning of the album. So you're like, oh, wow, we're really into it.
Big songs.
And then New Kid in Town is another one that I've heard before on the radio. And in Life in the Fast Lane. Those are all 3 pretty big hits for them, I guess. But then everything else is, deep cuts. And at first, when I heard the album, I thought, oh, I like the hits, but I don't know if I'm so crazy about the deep cuts. But I don't know. After I listened to it a while, I finally was like, you know what? I kind of like the deep cuts as well. And I kind of came around going, this is a 10 out of 10 album for me. It's pretty on my list. I'm trying to think. Okay, here. Wait a minute. Yeah, so... Yeah, Life in the Fast Lane, I mean, it's maybe the most rocking song, it feels like. Their songs aren't so much rocking. They have a bit of a mixture of country and maybe folk and pop. I don't know. This one's definitely got the most recognizable, like, I want to say guitar riff in it, or whatever.
This is the one where Joe Walsh came in.
And I love Joe Walsh and what is it, John Fielder?
Don Felder.
Don Fielder. Yeah, those two together. Oh my gosh. I mean, and the reason why I love Hotel California, the song, is because of that double guitar solo at the end. I just think that's like one of the coolest guitar solos ever. Them playing together at the same time, and I love watching it live. I watch them live because I love watching them do it live because they're just like right across from each other going. And I'm like, how are they doing that? It's amazing. They're like right on, they're playing different notes kind of, but yet it matches perfectly, I guess, and they're doing it in the right rhythm. I don't know. It's amazing. But Wasted Time, again, these aren't, I don't know, there's still decent stuff here. I know some people said they shouldn't have the reprise, whatever. I like Waste of Time. Victim of Love, Pretty Maids all in a row. Try and Love Again, and then The Last Resort. The Last Resort is a really great song. I really love that as the closer to the album. I think Don Henley singing on that one is great. I think it's a pretty long song if I remember right. In the album, there's not really a lot of songs on here. To be honest, I mean you got what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 songs in total. So not a lot of songs. So it's definitely one of those where it's like the big hits are great and they really carry the album. But even the deep cuts I like. I don't love as much, but I like them enough that I still give this album a huge score, personally. Um, I know Nick is not as big a fan maybe of this album, so I don't know if you want to say any more, Scott. Or...
I really like this album. It has my favorite lineup of the Eagles, and it was only for a couple of years. But it's the only album to have Joe Walsh and Randy Meisner on it, which is my favorite lineup with
yeah.
Don Henley and Glenn Frey, obviously, but then Randy Meisner, Don Felder, and Joe Walsh. That's my favorite lineup of the Eagles, and it's the only album to feature that lineup because after this lineup, Randy Meisner leaves and you get Timothy Schmidt instead, which fair trade because you do get I Can't Tell You Why, which is my favorite song on the next album. But I do miss Randy. He was one of the best parts of the Eagles, especially with his high harmonies that he always provides, and especially with it's not on this album, with the last album, Take It to the Limit. That song is fantastic. He gives probably the biggest hidden gem on this album, Try and Love Again. That's one of my favorite songs on the album. I really like that one. The other big hidden gem, just because we've already kind of talked a lot about the hits on this album, is Wasted Time for me. I like the ballad. I like the piano. I like the orchestra on that one. But then you also got the big songs, Hotel California, which is one of the reasons I wanted to learn to play the guitar. New Kid in Town. It's a hit, but it's like an underrated hit. I don't hear as many people talking about that one. Almost got kind of like a yacht rocky kind of feel, and I like that about it. And then, Life in the Fast Lane. This is the first album with Joe Walsh. The story goes that Joe Walsh he came up with that riff as a practice exercise. And so he's just sitting there in the studio while Don Henley and Glenn Frey are talking over something, going and they come to him like, "What are you doing?" And like, "I'm just practicing. It's a little exercise I came up with." And they're like, "Well, you got to make a song out of that." And that's how they came up with the song "Life in the Fast Lane," is because of his little practice exercise there. Of course, Joe Walsh also writes a song on this album, "Pretty Maids All in a Row," which is interesting because it's a ballad. You wouldn't expect Joe Walsh to do a ballad, but he only gives like 2 songs for the Eagles, that and "In the City" on the next album, which that sounds a lot more like what you think Joe Walsh would do. That's more of a rock song. Yeah, I like also Victim of Love. That's, other than Life in the Fast Lane, Victim of Love is probably the most rocking song on the album. That's just like a heavy hitter. Nick heard Take It Like a Friend at a Jersey Mike's, and I heard Victim of Love at a Jimmy John's. So yeah, but I just really like the whole album, and it, other than the Wasted Time reprise, is it weird that The Last Resort is actually my second to least favorite song on the album? I know Jason said he really liked that one, but
I think it's my third favorite probably on the album.
okay.
Yeah,
I don't like it as much. It's got like the orchestra and it's got a big grand feel, but I just don't think it's as interesting. It's lyrically kind of interesting because the album came out in 1976, which was America's 200th birthday, and it's kind of Don Henley's way of saying, like, we've come 200 years, and if we keep going the way we're going, we ain't gonna be here in another 200 years. But I do really like the album.
Yeah, I would say you're maybe I'm a big Eagles fan. You might be even a bigger Eagles fan than me. So I think we definitely both are on, Eagles. I know Nick has listened to all the Eagles albums. I can't remember what you thought about this album, but I don't think you liked it as much as we did.
It's not one of my favorite albums personally. It's a couple of songs I'm not crazy about, like Life in the Fast Lane I never cared for. Waste of Time. I thought it was good, but never one of my favorites. And I think Waste of Time reprises filler.
Yeah, I can see that.
But
Uh,
besides that, it's a good album. I mean, I really like the title track and New Kid in Town, but the rest of the album I'm not as big into.
I agree. That's my two favorite songs. Those two. New Kid in Town, just the harmonies are so good, and
Oh yeah,
it's a
and
great
then when they do
melody.
the guitar fills in the last verse,
The new kid in town.
I don't want to hear it.
It's so good. Yeah. All right. Let's see what is next. Oh man, here's another divisive album. So we'll see what we get here.
Okay, what do we got here?
I got up to Man with Sticks.
Man, I realized this is like the top like 20 to 10 albums, and now I'm getting it because everyone he holds up, I'm like, oh, yeah, for sure.
I say divisive because I know me, Scott, we love this album. Nick, again, not as much. Let's see. So I had it at number 50. Scott had it at number 24. And I have it at number 18 on my list. So, yeah, me and Scott have it in our top 25, basically. It's my favorite Led Zeppelin album. It's the typical one. It's definitely a big one. I mean, come out in 71. The big year for rock music. When you got this and Hughes Next coming out in the same year. I mean, come on. It's got my favorite. I mean, I know this is typical, but Stairway to Heaven, it's one of my favorite songs of all time. I never get tired of that song. It's my favorite Led Zeppelin song. I've talked about it so many times. I know there's not much more to say, but it's amazing. I mean, come on. The acoustic guitar are playing whatever at the beginning, and then the rock and the drums. The drums. When Bonham did that, ba-doo, 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 doo, 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 and everybody's, I mean, it's so amazing. I love his drumming on it. Anyways, that song's amazing. Black Dog, I believe, is the opener. Again, I always have a time finding. Yeah, Black Dog. I love Black Dog. I think it's a good rock song. I mean, it's got so many big hits. Rock and Roll, another huge hit rock song for them. The Battle of Evermore, not one of my favorite. It's okay. Misty Mountain Hop. I love that song too. It's so cool. So interesting. Yeah, the bum 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 bum. It's like interesting. 4-6, I think, is maybe the weakest. I think a lot of people would say. Going to California, that's another one. It's one of my top 10 favorite Led Zeppelin songs. I love the acoustic guitar playing on that. And I love Robert Plant's voice, too. He's so good on that. And then you end with When the Levee Breaks, which is such a cool closer. Not a big hit song, but yeah, I think everybody I talk to, that's one of their favorite Led Zeppelin songs. It's like one of those great hidden gems that you get to and you're like, man, this song rocks. I don't know, there's not a lot of singing on it. It's just a jam song, but it's so good that I even like it. And I usually don't like those kind of songs. Those kinds of just jam songs, whatever. But it's a great closer too. I don't know. Not a lot of songs on here, but the big hits are so good. Like I said, I mean, when you got Stairway to Heaven, Going to California, Black Dog, Rock and Roll, I mean, you're talking huge hits for Led Zeppelin. It rocks. And I love Jimmy Page's. He's one of my favorite guitar players. You got one of my favorite drummers here. I mean, it's to me, they're, the peak Led Zeppelin, I guess. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
We're going to be doing our top 10 albums of 1971 pretty soon, and this album may or may not be on that list, so I'm not going to talk too much about it because I want to save my thoughts for that. As well as we did a in-depth review of this album a few years ago, which I got that review on my channel.
On your channel?
Check that out, and check out Jason and Nick's in-depth reviews of that album, as well as Briar and Jacob Martin. But what I'm going to say right now is pretty good. I guess I could just say Stairway to Heaven. What more needs to be said? But there's a lot more to that album as well. Rock and Roll, Black Dog, when the levee breaks, like the first 10 seconds when the drums kick in. It just like, oh. Yeah, again, I'm going to save my in-depth thoughts for our top 10 albums of 1971. I'm going to spoil it. This is most definitely on my list for that year, so stay tuned for in-depth thoughts on that, and you can watch the Man with Sticks for review on my channel if you want to get my thoughts in the meantime.
But it's so funny about this album is that there's no title. There's no title on this album. It's and we just call it Led Zeppelin 4 just because we have to call it something, I guess. And we've had Led Zeppelin 1 through 3.
That's why we call it Man with the Sticks, because it's not officially Led Zeppelin 4, so let's just call it Man with the Sticks.
When Breyer's the one I think that coined that term.
He was.
When Breyer said Man of Sticks, I can't not think of Man of Sticks. Every time I look at this album, I'm like, yeah, it's Man with Sticks. All right, so now we're at our number 15th album, and you'll like this one, Nick. I swear, we're gonna get to some ones that you like. I'm sorry,
I know. I have really little to say about these albums.
Okay, here's one. Hopefully, you'll be able to talk about.
Yep.
Can I do this?
Yes, finally. Queen.
As I said, we're going to be talking about Queen, and here's a Queen album.
That's 2. One more, and Breyer will show up.
Oh, we'll see, Breyer. All right, Jazz by Queen.
There we go. Let's dream. Let's see if he shows up.
Let's see. Scott has it at 56 on your list. I have it at number 29, and Nick has it number 3. So,
oh wow, 3.
Yeah. Funny enough, this is my favorite Queen album. It's only number. I don't know what I.
Say Queen.
You know, any of Queen's albums from Sheer Heart Attack up to The Worst, I think Hot Space Notwithstanding could have been the number 1 Queen album. There we go. We summoned. I don't know how we do. It actually works.
How does that work? I don't know. Yeah, this is actually my favorite album. It's only number 29, but I do have a lot of Queen albums on my list. I don't know why they don't reach higher than 29. I love the albums, though. It's just so many good albums. It's hard to, when you get to that high. But yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 album, of course, for me. It's maybe an underrated album. I don't think people talk about this album as much as some of these other albums. But the reason why I love it so much, first off, Fat Bottom Girls, it's a top 5 favorite. I think it's my 5th favorite. I think when we did my top 10 Queen songs is number 5. I love that song so much. Every time I hear it, I get such a kick out of it. It's that opener with the, can I take you home? Great opener. And then when the guitar kicks in right after that, like opener of the chorus, whatever, and it kind of kicks in, and then I was such a whatever. It just rocks. Like, it's such a good rock song. And Freddie's so great. Yeah, she was such a naughty nanny or something like that. You're gonna make a man out of me. And then the drums. Right back. Anyways, I love this. That's great. Jealousy, amazing deep cut. Man, great song. Bicycle Race, it's a fun song. If You Can't Beat 'Em's good. And Nick will go more in detail. I'm just gonna kind of go through some highlights. Don't Stop Me Now. I mean, another top 10 Queen song for me. I mean, one of the most iconic ones. It's so catchy. Oh my gosh. And then, I'm trying to get through all these. In Only 7 Days is one of my favorite deep cuts of all time. These are my top 10 favorite Queen songs. It's not a hit. No one's going to talk about it. It was written by the bass player, which I was.
Deacon John.
Deacon John, John Deacon. I always forget his name for some reason. John Deacon. Great song written by him. And man, it's a beautiful ballad. Absolutely love that. I think that's what really gets me is not only do you got great big hits on here like Fat Bomb Girls, Don't Stop Me Now, but Jealousy in Only 7 Days, amazing deep cuts as well that no one knows about. I don't know. I just absolutely love these songs on here. And I'm a big fan of Queen, so I have a lot of Queen albums that I absolutely love. But yeah, that's just my quick analysis. I'll go to Nick for more.
Okay. Time for me to take it away. I mean, yeah, this is my third favorite album. And yes, no, it's not because of recency bias. I've known this album for many, many years now, so I can't really, it's like, it's not like with me with David Bowie or a couple of other artists that I put high on the list because of recency bias. I've been listening to Queen for so long now, and I agree with Breyer in the comments. Jazz is such an underrated album, but hold on, guys. Queen is a fascist band.
Oh.
They're gonna rock us. They're fascist.
Rolling Stone.
The same group of people that said that the Behind the Mask lineup of Fleetwood Mac is the best lineup we've had ever. So I can't take their opinions with a grain of salt. Anyways, back to the review. We start off with Mustafa. Yes, Mustafa, and this is gonna sound like a messed up joke, but this is how New York City is gonna sound once the new mayor comes into the city. If you know, you know. Yeah. Great song though. It sounds like gibberish, which if you don't speak what Freddie speaks, it pretty much is gibberish. The way like Allah will pray for you, Mustafa Ibrahim. Akashishnaline. I'm like, I can't even sing along to this song. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
It's a funny opener though, and it's catchy though.
Yeah.
It's a catchy song. I love the song. Next up, you have Fat Bomb Girls, which, even though Brian May wrote it, Freddie Mercury sang it like as if he wrote it. He sings it really well for someone who hasn't wrote it. He gives you off the illusion that he's into women mostly. I mean, he's bi apparently, but
that's true.
He's more on the gay side, in my opinion. But anyways, Jealousy, great deep cut. I love that song. Jealousy,
so good.
Look what you done. Jealousy. Oh, great song. Then you got Bicycle Race. It's another stupid song.
It is.
You say black, I say white. Something about Peter Pan. I don't like Star Wars.
I don't like Star Wars, yeah.
Oh, Jaws was never my scene, and I don't like Star Wars. Yeah. Remember that. They mentioned Fat Bomb Girls.
Yeah.
Song. Then you got If You Can't Beat Them, Join Them. Ooh, yeah, that's a great song. And then you got Let Me Entertain You, which that's a live set song that they played a lot live. Brian was definitely channeling Freddie when Freddie found about Five Girls. I love it.
Okay.
No, I always thought Freddie wrote that because I was like, I don't know why that sounds like something Freddie would write, but then I found out it was Brian. I was like, Brian, the quiet scientific guitar player, wrote this song?
Yeah. Yeah, Freddie wrote on
Darth Vader's
shoulders on stage. I love it. Then of course you start off with the second side with Dead on Time, really kind of like energetic, fast-paced song. That followed up with Only 7 Days. Oh, I love that song.
Oh, so good.
Only 7 days, even gonna think of heaven or more for memories to fade. Ooh, great song.
Oh, yeah.
Dreamers Ball, another great ballad. On it, Pro Disco Queen, pretty cool. Sounds like something that the Bee Gees would sing, like with their falsetto vocals. Um, Leaving Home Ain't Easy. Oh, I love that song. Leaving home ain't easy. You know, that's a song that you expect Brian to write. That's a very Brian May song.
Yeah.
You got the really classic Don't Stop Me Now. And you close out with More of That Jazz.
Yep.
Which is a really cool album closer. And I mean, I would have rather Don't Stop Me Now be the last song, but More of That Jazz is still a good closer considering, you know, what it is.
They had to stop that because I think George Lucas was going to super copyright infringement. Oh, they replaced with Superman. Okay.
Man, Darth Vader's funnier.
Yeah. I just realized it says Queen a lot on the front here. Queen, 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 Queen. Yeah, interesting title, Jazz. It's not like the most. It's a very plain title, kind of. It's kind of a plain album cover.
The album cover, aka How to Summon Briar.
But there's, yeah, exactly. To say the album cover. Yeah, it's not really a jazzy album or anything. It's just a nice Queen album, some great hits on here. Rockers, ballads. I mean, it's pop songs. It's great.
What I like about this album is that and this is the case with most Queen albums, is they just throw everything in there. It's like every Queen album is almost like the White Album, but as a single disc and without any of the crappy songs on it. It's because of how no Wild Honey Pies, unless you're going to count Body Language, which that's later on. But the diversity in styles and just genres that they do is just crazy, especially on this album. Mustafa, I was not expecting that from Queen, so whenever I listened to that on the album, I was like, what is this? I wasn't expecting that. I mean, big songs on here, Bicycle Race and Fat Bottom Girls, classics. You also got Don't Stop Me Now, which apparently was not a big hit when it was first released, but kind of has seen it's become more popular in recent years because people have finally realized, hey, you know, this Don't Stop Me Now song is actually really good.
Amazing.
Like it barely cracked the top 100. It was like 90 something when it came out. Now it's like it's got billions of streams on whatever that streaming service is. I forget the name of it. I don't use it. We also got some really underrated songs, like Jason was talking about In Only 7 Days. I really like that one.
So beautiful.
Fun It seems almost like the precursor to Another One Bites the Dust. It's like they're channeling that disco dancey sound that they'd later perfect on Another One Bites the Dust there. We also have a lot of other good songs. It's a great album.
Yeah, and like Brian said, I think underrated, but we have it number 15. That's how much we like Queen, I guess. Is and that's not even Briar. Briar's not even part of this group right now.
We'll have to do Nick and I have to remake our lists, but then we can do a updated one with Briar included.
Yeah, Briar put out a top 100, so I can now add Briar to our list. Yeah, I need to redo this list now because I got Briar.
I need to redo my list as well because my top 100 list is going to look very different. It's going to be a lot more artists and a lot less of Mr. Bowie. That recency bias that Nick was talking about.
You and Nick had a lot of maybe the same artists on there. And you're like, maybe I should change it up a bit.
Yeah, it's like, do we really need to have every single album by insert this artist that I was listening to at the time on here?
Exactly. All right, number 14, another album you might know by the image.
I know that one.
Yeah, we have Abbey Road. There's the title. Abbey Road. Maybe the most famous road in England, which I have walked across. And yeah, this is definitely a big hit. I feel like for a long time, like I said, Sgt. Pepper's was considered the great Beatles album, everybody was like, "Yeah, Sgt. Pepper's. That's number one. That's number one." Uh, but I think this album, I feel like maybe overtook it. I feel like I hear more people put Abbey Roads ahead of Sgt. Pepper's now. It's kind of it's interesting because it's kind of like their last album. I mean, the last one they actually went to the studio in May, so I guess you can say this is kind of like their magnus opus, and it's also like their last album. Really, definitely went on top on this album. And I guess, and of course, well, yeah. Let me go through what we had on the list here. So I have it number 83. I have it the lowest out of the three of us.
Huh?
Again, it's funny enough, not one of my favorite Beatle albums. I have some other ones that are much higher on the list. But Scott had it number 2 on his list.
Oh, I forgot it. I was feeling different that day, wasn't I?
And Adam has it number 1. So we have one person has a number 1 on their list, another number 2. So
That's gonna be number 1 on my next list.
So that's why it's all the way at number 14, because Adam and Scott had it so high. I have it low on my list, but it's on my list. I mean, it's definitely an iconic album, obviously. People love. I think people talk about, the medley at kind of the end is what people love about it. For me, I mean, really, it's. There's some good stuff besides, but there are 3 songs that I think are some of the best Beatles songs and some of the best songs ever. I mean, there are 3 songs that are in my top 10 favorite Beatles songs. That's how good those songs are, which is Come Together, Something, and Here Comes the Sun. Love those 3 songs. I mean, so it's like one of those things where, like, I go, man, you put those 3 songs on an album, it's one of the great albums for me, just because I absolutely love those 3 songs. I know Octopus's Garden. It's funny. I just watched our video. Nick and Ron, Octopus's Garden, number 1 on their list, and then me and Scott had Something, I think, number 1 on our list, and then Jacob had Here Comes the Sun, I think, number 1. So, and I made I said, wow, Ringo and George Harrison really killed it on this album.
Yeah.
Which is kind of funny because I just talked about how they didn't do much on the Sgt. Pepper's, but. Octopus Garden is my favorite Ringo song, and he wrote it, which is awesome. Only 2 songs he wrote for the Beatles, and it's so catchy, and I love the guitar playing on it. Love even the chorus with the other Beatles backing vocals. It's so good. Yeah, and I'll let someone talk more about the other stuff maybe, but my problem is Oh Darling I don't like, and Maxwell Silver Hammer is okay. I'm not too crazy about that. I would love it if it was shorter. Because it's long, I don't love it. I want to because the guitar playing is so good and it has a cool vibe to it. I will say I do love when you end I Want You, and then Here Comes the Sun comes right after it. It is a cool transition, actually, from first side to second side. Second side is fine. There's some deep here. I do love how it ends with Golden Slumbers Carry That Weight in the end. It's kind of a cool ending to not just the album, but to the Beatles discography in a sense. Because to me, it's like, this is the end of, like, to me, my favorite band of all time. So it's kind of interesting to get that song, and in the end, they'll love you. So it's a good lasting impression on the Beatles, I think. But yeah, my thoughts on it. I mean, it's still a great album. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10, I think, when I did it. Everybody else gave it like 10s. In fact, you two both gave it 10, so I'll let you talk about it. What do you think?
I mean, I'm not going to say a whole lot because I just put the video out, so go watch the video. But this is my favorite album of all time. I don't know why I put it at number 2.
Because you're a big Rush thing at the time, so you put...
when you put Moving Pictures over Abbey Road, I was like surprised. I'm like, this has to be a phase. No way Scott's gonna have this forever. This is gonna be like one of Scott's phases, and
yeah,
I was right. I knew what but I didn't want to tell it to Scott at first, but I'm like, yeah, he's not
phase.
He's gonna change it real quick. I have a strong feeling already, but
I regretted it immediately after I put that video. I don't even think I have those videos on my channel anymore. I think I've made them unlisted or something.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd have to relook at it, but yeah, love everything about this album. Come Together, love the bass. Something, great guitar solo. Maxwell Silverhammer, yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, it's weird coming right after this beautiful love song with Something. But it's fun, so it gets the pass for that. Oh Darling, I actually really like that song. I love the vocals on that. Octopus's Garden is fun. I Want You, She's So Heavy, great rock song. Here Comes the Sun. It's Here Comes the Sun. Because cool song, love the synthesizer, and then the medley. Yeah, great way to end the Beatles' career.
I agree. What do you think, Nick?
just look at Scott's video. I don't really have much more to say. It's
I know.
Abbey Road, iconic album cover. I don't really have much more to say that's already been said about it.
Yeah, a lot's been said about the album. That's for sure.
Yeah. Watch. It's like the back of the Boston album cover says, "Listen to the record." I'm gonna say, watch the video.
Yeah.
All right, number 13. And this image might traumatize you, but we have Queen again. Surprise, surprise. We came back with Queen.
Surprise, surprise.
News of the world. And
nice.
my personal favorite album cover of Queen. Which because you have to really like go all the way out. It's kind of weird the way it's folded. Because the way it sits on the on your shelf is like this. So you have to turn it around like this to get the image. But yeah, another big album for Queen, another favorite of all of ours, I think. I mean, Queen fans, we have a big run of Queen albums that we all absolutely love. And this is one of them. Let's see. So we have Scott at number 43 on his list. I have it number 41, so we're pretty close. Nick, you have it number 1.
Yes. And I stand on that. Actually, I'm not.
All right.
I don't regret posting that video. It's not towards you, Scott. I mean, because normally I like to say like, oh man, why did I put that album so high? That's usually how I am. It's like same with like me always snubbing Pet Sounds off my top 100. I'm like, why am I not putting Pet Sounds in my list? Like, I have to repeatedly tell the music junkies, like, when I make my top 100 list in the future, make sure that I put Pet Sounds on it. And well, I'm on my list right now, and that's in the draft right now. It's in the short list of albums that are going to make my top 100 albums. So, anyway, sorry for that little Pet Sounds tangent, but still, I mean, it's such a great album. I mean, this is like what Jason is with Revolver. It's like every song is so different from each other. Like, you're not getting the same Queen. It's just like me and Brian were talking about this on Night at the Opera with the Whiplash. This is the most Whiplash you'll ever get in a Queen album, which is probably why it's my favorite Queen album, because this is like the most Whiplash you get. You got We Will Rock You, Whiplash into We Are the Champions, which, you know, those are like the big hit. That's like the big 2 songs on the album. The only 2 songs that
those are 2 big hits. And what a great one punch. Yeah.
Then you get another Whiplash with Sheer Heart Attack. Like, what the hell is this? When I first heard the song, I'm like, what is this? This is like heavy metal. It's like punk heavy metal combined. Then you got a Whiplash again with All Dead. It's like just Whiplash after Whiplash after Whiplash. It's just like, and then after that you got Spread Your Wings, which that song amazing. How is that not a hit song?
This Queen album has the best deep cuts, and I'm not even.
They released it as a single. How did that song not chart? Like, The only single that went really well was "We Are the Champions" and "We Will Rock You." That's like the only single that went well for them on this album. "Spread Your Wings" didn't go anywhere. How's that possible? It's a good song. You
got that colored record.
Yeah.
"Fight from the Inside," another proto disco, like another one bites the dust. It's funny. The Bohemian Rhapsody movie made it seem like Freddie Mercury was the one who pushed this direction on the band. Meanwhile, it was really Roger Taylor who pushed it. Another reason why Bohemian Rhapsody is extremely flawed as a movie, but I digress.
It's fun to watch, but it's inaccurate.
It's really one of the most inaccurate movies we'll ever watch. Anyways,
the music's good.
The music's really good.
And we have the coffee machine scene.
Not the coffee machine.
And how does your song go, Brian?
You call me sweet like some kind of cheese. That's good. Anyways, side 2. "Get Down, Make Love." I hated this song.
I know.
It's like one of the most hated songs ever for me.
Make love.
I always skipped it though. Like I never really gave it another shot. Like I would listen to it a little bit. I'm like, skip it. Jason of all people is what got me into it. He was like, "It's a really good song." I'm like, okay, Jason likes it. I remember when we did our album ranking, Jason's like, "There's one song on News of the World I don't like." I'm like, oh yeah, we were probably gonna agree on "Get Down, Make Love." But Jason he's like, "I really like "Get Down, Make Love." I'm like, really? Jason likes this song? I'm like, is there something I'm missing? And I'm like, okay, there's a couple parts I like. Every time I get high, you want to cool down. Every time I get high, you said you want to calm down. Like, okay, that's pretty cool. And it's just the song grew on me over time. Then you got another whiplash with the blues song, Queen and the Blues. Queen doing blues music? You know what this sounds like? It sounds like early Fleetwood Mac, like a Peter Green.
Yeah, early
Mac.
one.
Not a Jeremy Spencer Fleetwood Mac song, a Peter Green Fleetwood Mac song, and one of the better ones. I think Brian May does Peter Green Fleetwood Mac better than Peter Green doing Peter Green Fleetwood Mac.
I think "Sleeping on the Sidewalk" is better than any of Fleetwood Mac's blues stuff. Oh well, notwithstanding.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, great song. Then you get the Who Needs You. Ooh, that song is awesome. Who needs what I don't need? Who needs you? And then you got the next song that they released as a single and went nowhere. "It's Late."
That's my favorite song on the album.
How was that not a hit song? How is that not a hit song? They released it as a single. They thought it was good enough to be a single. How did no one else think it was good? I'll tell you right now, if I was a Queen fan back in the day, I would make sure everyone listens to the song. I'd be like, okay, we were rocking, we are champions. That's a great song, but "It's Late." Listen to this. This is great too. And "Spread Your Wings," of course. Criminally underrated song. And then he closed the album out with "My Melancholy Blues," which Jason wasn't crazy about that song. I'm not sure if you still feel the same about it. I'm not sure.
Do it, yeah.
No, I love that. It's Freddie Mercury doing like a lounge kind of blues or jazz number.
I'll say it's more jazz than any of the songs on Jazz.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
Funny. It's like, hey, want to listen to Jazz by Queen? It's like, yeah, sure.
Want to hear Queen do the blues? Well, it's not the song called "My Melancholy Blues." That's actually "Sleeping on the Sidewalk." But if you want to hear them do jazz, it's not more of that jazz or the album jazz. It's "My Melancholy Blues."
Pretty much. But yeah, I love the song. Underrated. Another great album closer, by the way. But man, this album is just legendary album cover.
Yeah.
Filled with legendary deep cuts. Still my favorite album. It's just an album it's the album I knew the longest from Queen. Night the Opera is the first album I fully listened to, but News of the World is like the first album that I got into because when I first got into Queen, I'm like, what albums did they make? And I saw the Robot. I'm like, that's a cool album cover. And I saw We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You start the album. And, I've told this story before when I first got into this album. I really like the first 3 songs, even Sheer Heart Attack, even though that's a bit of a weird song. I got into that pretty quickly. But All Dead, All Dead, that's what kind of turned me off from the album at first because, when you first listen to Queen, you associate it with Freddie Mercury's vocals. So
Yeah.
for me, as a new upcoming Queen fan, it was a bit of a mind fuck to hear someone not named Freddie Mercury singing on a Queen song. So I'm like, I don't know about this. Freddie's not singing on this. I don't know why that turned me off from the album. It's weird. And well, I'm like, you know what? Night at the Opera is a great album. Let's get back into this album, News of the World. And I liked it more,
Yeah.
but it took me a bit to really get into the album because, like Scott said, there's like mostly deep cuts. Like you got the first 2 songs, and then the rest of the album is all deep cuts.
Yeah.
Like even on our albums, like Night the Opera. I mean, you have them spaced out. Like You're My Best Friend and you have them spread out on the album. News of the World, you get the first 2 songs as the hits, and then the rest of the album is all deep cuts. So, you have to get into that knowing that most of the album is all deep cuts and that you get all the hits up front and then the rest is just deep cuts. So I won't lie, this is one of my least favorite Queen albums for a very long time, but the more I listen to it, the more it goes up and up and up and up. And not only is it my favorite Queen album, but it's my favorite album. But yeah, I could talk about this album all day. I'm looking forward to reviewing this on Briar's channel. And so, guys, you have anything else you want to say that I haven't said already?
Yeah, they really dropped the ball on Spread Your Wings, and It's Late. Those should have been a lot bigger than they were.
Yeah. If I'm putting my one thing, but It's Late. What I love about that is like anytime we're like. When sometimes we'll be talking for we'll do a video and then us and like Jacob or Briar we might be talking for another hour or whatever after we're done with our video, and then one of us has to go. It's late. I need to go. And every time I hear that, I think of this song. It's late, but not too late. I almost want to say that every time someone says it. It's just ingrained in my head now, the song. Let's see. Nice to get the news in News of the World, yes. But I was just thinking, if I'm putting together like my favorite deep cut Queen songs, I'm putting, In Only 7 Days on there. I'm putting Jealousy on there. I'm putting Spread Your Wings on there. I'm putting It's Late on there. I'm putting 39 on there. I'm putting, I think it's called Every Breath You Take, maybe, I think is on there.
Oh, You Take My Breath Away.
You Take My Breath Away, that's it. I just said a police song. Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love that song too. I mean, there's some amazing deep cuts that I absolutely love on. About every album has like 2 deep cuts. I'm like, this is as good as like the big hits. Like you're saying. And that's what I think about those 2. Yeah. Some of the best deep cuts ever. Anyways, but all right, so you might be saying to yourself, Jason, aren't Queen just a singles band? They're not a big record band, are they? The records aren't that great, are they? Well, let me offer you this album next. A Day at the Races.
Can anybody find me a good Queen album?
Back-to-back Queen albums. So we're here to say, no, there are good Queen albums. We have 3 already that we talked in our top 20. And we're not done yet. There'll be another one in our top 10. I'm just going to say, you guys probably will guess what it is, but we love Queen albums here on the channel, on our channels. So this is number 12. 12th favorite album, Day at the Races. Coming right after Night at the Opera, and right before News of the World. So it's sandwiched right between all of these other great albums. I mean, this is an incredible run for Queen itself. I got this got an orange color for some reason. This is, I mean, I think at one time this might have been one of Nick's favorite albums. Well, let me look at what we have on our list here.
Oh, you got a color record for Day at the Races?
Yeah, it's orange.
Mine is a colored record too, but mine is black to match the cover.
Oh yeah, what a unique album cover! What a unique color for that album. Oh man.
So Scott has it number 37 on his list. I have it number 31. Nick has it number 2. So we got Nick's.
Oh wow, we got Nick's 2 favorite albums here.
1 and 2 back to back.
You already got my 1 and 2 with Abbey Road and Moving Pictures.
And we got Adam's number 1 already. I know with Abbey Roads as well.
And my number 3 with Sgt. Pepper.
And your number 3, yeah. So we're getting all.
And I think we already had Boston. So you're covering all my favorite albums.
Yeah, not that, but we had Jazz Up High pretty too, actually, as well. We did this video, so this is a good video for me to be involved in because albums on here.
Yeah, we got 3 Queen albums, and all 3 are on all 3 of our lists, I believe. Yeah, we're all big fans of these. It's one of those I know where it's like my hot take is I like this better than A Night at the Opera because a lot of people say Night at the Opera best album. I know me and Nick would say this is actually even better than Night at the Opera. And that's kind of our hot takes maybe on it. But it is an amazing album to follow.
I like A Night at the Opera better than A Day at the Races, but I'll say I think I actually like News of the World better than Day at the Races too.
Okay. And I guess Breyer doesn't mind having back-to-back Queen albums as well. Let me just go kind of some of the big hits here that I like, or some of the stuff to talk about. Tie Your Mother Down. I mean, that's actually a pretty good opener. Nice rock song. You Take My Breath Away, I just mentioned. It's one of my favorite. It's a really great kind of almost ballad, like I don't know, just the way Freddie goes, yeah, take my breath away. I don't know, just the way he so good, his vocals. Oh, Long Way is another one I'd put on one of my favorite deep cuts. Long Way is amazing. I think that's Brian May singing, but it's a really good song. And I'm just hitting some highlights. I mean, you open second side with Somebody to Love. That's a top 10. That's a top 5 Queen song. I mean, that's one of the great songs of all time. Freddie Mercury on that piano, and I think about his performance. You can see it's in Montreal, I believe. It's on Disney Plus. You can watch the Montreal concert, and I just love. He starts at the piano, and then he stands up and he has that mic that it's like a half mic or something, and he's just commanding the stage, and then he goes back to the piano at the end, and he does that. It almost does like a cappella. Can you find me somebody to love? Can you find me? Can you find me? And he does like all these it's so amazing. But anyways, it's so good. Like I said, it's so iconic, catchy. Vocals is amazing. Anyways, but yeah, it's one of my all-time favorite songs. And I love the closer is really great. Tia Toretta, Let's Clean Together. I think it's a really great closer. Super catchy. It's another great deep cut. But yeah, it's again just the big hit is Somebody to Love. Maybe the only big hit on here now that I think about it. So it's not really full of big hits, and maybe that's why people say their albums aren't that great. They're just a singles band. But it's like, man, there's still some great deep cuts on this album, along with Somebody to Love. Anyways, it's my second favorite Queen album, so love it. What do you think? Nick? You want to talk more about Queen?
My pleasure. I mean, you start off the album with Tie Your Mother Down. I mean, that's kind of like a B grade single for them. I mean, I love the song a lot, but unless you're listening to those like greatest hits albums, you don't really hear it on the radio. It's a song that's on the greatest hits album, but not played on the radio type of stuff. Yeah. It's a great song. I mean, it's not as good as Death on Two Legs. I say I prefer that as an album opener, but it's a great opening song. It's like Brian May's Death on Two Legs because you got the great rocker to open up the album. Then you got the beautiful ballad, Take My Breath Away.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ooh, take my breath away. Oh, such a haunting song. It's a haunting song, especially at the end with the beautiful. Then got Long Away, the Brian May song. Not as good as 39, but really great song on its own. You got the Millionaire's Waltz. I love that song. Bohemian Rhapsody 2.0. You and I. Oh, I love that song. Just you and I. Dun, 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 dun. John Deacon. Deacon John. Love you. Open up the second side with Somebody to Love. Somebody to Love. Oh, great song. White Man. Hard rock. Awesomeness. Brian May. Great song. Good Old Fashioned Lover Boy. Oh my God. That's such a good song. Ooh, lover boy. What you gonna say now? Hey, boy. Oh, fun song. Drowse. Great Roger Taylor song. And then Tio Toriate to close out the album. Love it. Just 10 amazing songs. This was my favorite Queen album for a long time.
Thinking that, yeah.
My second favorite album of all time. Yeah, just 3 full classic albums. I mean, we all disagree, we all argue over albums, but these 3 albums, these 4 albums, Night the Opera, Day at the Races, News of the World, Jazz.
Yeah.
All 4 of us could agree. Me, you, Breyer, and Scott. All 4 of us could agree. All 4 of these albums are 10 out of 10 albums. That's like the one time all 4 of us could agree on something that much. You know, we all have our differences on other albums from other bands, but
we probably agree more on Queen than the Beatles, to be honest.
Queen seems to be the one band that everyone can agree on.
Which is weird because you talk to older people about them, people who actually grew up in this era. They're like, "Oh, they're not a band album. They're a singles band." I'm like,
that's just code for they never listened to the albums.
It's like, what? Oh, you grew up with these albums. They were new. They were fresh. How are you not listening to these albums? It's a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. But yeah, as you can tell by my passionate voice, I love Queen. They're like them and the Who. You mention those 2 bands, and I get my face brightens up. I get into a good mood. I'm ready to talk about these bands and these albums. And oh man, that and those 5 albums by the Kinks, Face to Face, Something Else, Village Green, Arthur, and Lola. You start talking about those 5 albums. That's another band that I really like when they're in their prime. But great material. Very, 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 very.
I'm pretty sure not Queen, but I'm pretty sure we have one by the other band in our top 10.
Yes, definitely. It's not the last time we'll talk about Beatles, Queen, or the Who for sure in our top 10. But I don't know if you have any more to say, Scott, on Day of the Races.
Man, I don't have much to add other than Somebody to Love is one of my favorite Queen songs. I really love that one, but this is a great album as well.
And they say they hate how campy they are. I guess that means they hate fun as well.
Yeah. Some of those quote-unquote campy songs are fun.
Like, there was like this one channel Jason brought attention to me. They were like, Night at the Opera, there's only like 2 good songs on it or whatever.
What?
I'm like, what? I'm like, you're crazy.
Did you miss the Prophet song?
I know, yeah.
Did you miss Death on Two Legs? Did you miss Love of My Life?
They only like the 2 hits on the album, and it frustrates me.
I
And
just
then, like,
listed 3 songs that are not hits on the album that are amazing songs.
and Jason rightfully so, like, defends the album. They're like, "You're wrong. Queen is a singles band." I'm like,
Singles band. It's like everybody knows they don't have good. I'm like, what? No.
Who said that?
Like you obviously haven't listened to our channels. We disagree. So I don't know who this everybody is that they're talking about. The general consensus. I mean, I talked to a lot of people that love music, love Queen. I feel like if you did a poll on one of our channels, I think Queen would do well. But it's funny, like Rolling Stones only has like one Queen album in their top 500, stuff like that. So it's weird how some don't. They rate them low, and then some people rate them really high. It's inconsistent, I guess. All right, one more album to talk about on this, number 11, and another big hitter. Ta-da.
Yep.
Rumors.
There's another good one.
Another one I believe made quite a bit of money when it came out.
The Diss album.
the good Diss album. There's
The
another
Diss album, the Cocaine album, the relationship drama album.
Very drama album, but somehow they made some of the best music ever. I mean, what can you say? Rumors. It's one of the best-selling albums of all time. I think it sold a bunch. It's the one you think about Fleetwood Mac. It's definitely their. I mean, it's like a greatest hits album, for God's sakes. It's got like almost every song's like a hit song on here. But let's see, Scott, you have it number 27 on your list.
That's too low.
I have it number 20 on my list. Adam has it number 10. So so we kind of go top 30, top 20, top 10 when we get to Adam on this list. It's a pretty typical album to have on your. I mean, it's on any top 100 albums list you're going to find. In fact, it's probably in top 10 on a lot of people's. And I've heard some people say it's their favorite album of all time. It's definitely one of those albums.
I'm not going to argue with that either.
And I can't argue with anything. If someone says number one, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense to me. In fact, it's funny. When I first heard this album, I mean, I knew like it had so many big hits on it, which is great. But I wasn't like a big Fleetwood Mac guy at the time. So I remember like listening going, yeah, this is okay. And I think I had it like pretty low on my top 100 albums list. And I even got some flack from some people that I had it too low on my list. And I was like, I don't know why I had it so low. I just wasn't into it yet. Oh, and this is a clear.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. It's kind of clear. And then when we did the Fleetwood Mac series and went through all the Stevie Nicks, I went through all the albums, but especially the Nicks and Buckingham albums. And I got to this album, and I was like, you know what? This is an absolute masterpiece. I don't know why I didn't have it higher. It's now in my top 20. I mean, I think it's one of the 20 best albums of all time, for sure. And I think it's just, I love the vocals, love the harmonies that are throughout the album, the melodies and everything. And I love that at Buckingham, you got Nicks, and you got 3 different singers, all amazing in their own right. I think that's really cool. Not very many bands have that. And I don't know, they just, and the album before this was great too. I love the album before this, Fleetwood Mac. And it's like, man, it's just that combination of that group. Like, because this is the second album that has this lineup. And for me, it's my favorite lineup of the band, I would say. And it's just, I don't know, just they fit so well together, I think. And they just created this absolute masterpiece album to me. I mean, if we go through the big hits, we'll go through a lot of the album, but even Secondhand News is a good opener here. Not a hit song, but I mean, Dreams is one of my all-time favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. It's definitely like a top 5 song for me. I mean, oh my gosh. Nick's amazing vocals, that chorus, the Only Happens When It's Raining, Lovers, or was something when they're playing. I don't know. It's so great. Or Thunder Only Happens When It's Raining. Yeah. So good. Never Going Back Again is also in my top 10. I mean, there's like 5 songs on here that's like in my top 10 favorite Fleetwood Mac songs. Never Going Back Again. The acoustic guitar playing is amazing. Absolutely love it. Don't Stop, obviously huge hit for them. Go Your Own Way, another song's in my top 10. Great vocals by Buckingham, maybe the best Buckingham song I think ever. So catchy. Songbird, McVie, great. Slower song maybe there. The Chain, that's my favorite Fleetwood Mac song. Absolutely love that. Love the harmony vocals. Love the intro. Love the bass in there. When it ramps up at the end, still together, whatever. It's amazing. You Make Loving Fun, another hit song off here. It's so good, so catchy. I Don't Want to Know, another kind. I don't know if these are big hits, but these are like songs I know I've heard on the radio at some time. But I Don't Want to Know, another great one. Oh Daddy, and then Gold Dust Woman. I feel like the only songs I might not have heard on the radio is Secondhand News. Maybe Never Going Back Again. I don't know if that might have been a radio hit too. I can't remember, but maybe Oh Daddy. I don't know. It's all big hits except for maybe 1 or 2 songs. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it's almost all hits. We talk about, this album has this many big hits and then it has a bunch of deep cuts. It's like there's no deep cuts because they're all hits. It's insane. But yeah, so that's just my analysis of it. I guess I'll go to you, Scott. You have it.
I am a guitar player. Buckingham is a criminally underrated guitar player, especially some of the stuff he's doing on this record here. This right here is the perfect example of when stress and trauma can make good music. Sometimes you have a lot of drama and, it turns out terrible. But for some reason, it turns out good here. All the songs are pointed at other members in the band. And the fact that they made them sing the other songs with them live is just cruel. Made a whole album of that. But it works. There was a lot of drugs in the making of this album as well, but it works. You got some of the best songs ever on here. Go Your Own Way, The Chain, You Make Loving Fun, Dreams, great stuff. Don't Stop. Songbird is a really great song as well. Christine McVie ballad. We were talking about what I like about this is that there's 3 different singers and songwriters in this band, each with a very unique style. You got Stevie Nicks, Lindsey Buckingham, and Christine McVie, and just getting the different sounding voices and the different songwriting styles, very different, but yet still complement each other very well. And by the time you get to the album, it's like every song was just something fresh, and it keeps you listening the entire time. It sold that many copies for a reason. It really is that good.
Yeah, it's as good as advertised. It's hyped, I think.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, this is one of the best. Like for me, I feel like one of the big overhyped albums is Back in Black by AC/DC. People are like, that's what, that's like, it's like a diamond selling album. Like, you get the title song on there. Like, yeah, that's good. I like that. I like Shoot to Thrill's pretty solid. What's that other one on Back in Black? You Shook Me All Night Long or something like that. Yeah, I'm like, those are good. But then I get all the deep cuts and I'm like, this is just AC/DC by the numbers. That didn't keep my interest. That's overrated. But then I get this and I'm like, yeah, just as good as advertised. Rumors, Fleetwood Mac, just as good as advertised.
Yeah, I agree. Of course, Nick, we talked about this album before, I know, and you're a big fan of Fleetwood Mac.
On our channel.
Yeah, we went through the whole. Anyways, this is not one of your favorite, I guess, but it's still a big one for you.
It's high up on my list.
Yeah.
It's not like an album that's low on my list.
Right. Yeah.
It's pretty high on my list.
We've talked a lot about Fleetwood Mac throughout the years, though. It's one of the bands we've brought up quite a bit.
Well, you guys did the whole big series, I guess, with Jacob. Was it you guys and Jacob?
No, me, Scott, and Briar with Fleetwood Mac.
And then you joined on the Buckingham Nicks.
Oh, you're right. It was Briar. Okay, that's right.
Yeah, because Briar had his whole rant on Not That Funny.
Yeah, then I joined later on. Yeah, that was a fun series. When I got, I mean, I wasn't from the beginning. I got on. It was really fun because I kind of knew nothing about Fleetwood Mac, and then I learned a bunch like really quickly.
Yeah.
And I did my top 10 favorite bands of all time, and they were in my top 10 thanks to that series, I think. Because there's just so many big albums. Rumors was number one, of course, obviously, you know. But then there's a lot of other really great albums in there that I didn't know about, so that was cool.
That Tusk review we did was something else.
Yeah, that was a great review. Yeah, so that's our 20 through 11. So, I mean, pretty good stuff there. I mean, some iconic stuff, Hotel California, Rumors. I mean, we got two, maybe the most iconic Beatle albums in there, as well as Journey. We got 3 Queen albums on this list. That's pretty crazy. And Led Zeppelin, we also got Led Zeppelin's big album. So, and that's just 20 through 11. We got 10 more to talk about, which would be fun, you know, see what do we have left. If anybody's watching this, you know, I don't know if you can make any kind of guesses, like what have we not talked about. You might be able to take some guesses and get some.
Haven't talked about Mardi Gras by CCR yet.
No, we have not talked about Mardi Gras. That is for sure.
That's such a great album, guys. That's going to be number one, right? Right?
No.
Right?
No. That's not going to be number one because Summer in Paradise by the Beach Boys is obviously going to take that spot.
We haven't talked about Summer in Paradise. We haven't talked about Beatles for Sale. It hasn't been on the list.
Yeah.
So I can tell you that.
Haven't talked about Presents.
Yeah, no Presents. Trying to think of other.
And then we can't forget American Dream.
American Dream. Preservation Act 2 has not been on the list. So
that's it. That's our top 10.
So we're not saying they are, but they haven't been on yet. So they're possibles for the top 10. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. Love going through these albums with Scott and Nick. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely got to talk some of our favorite albums already, which is crazy. We already hit some number ones and number twos and threes for us already on the list. So, in fact, what really makes the next 10 is that we're going to get to some albums that 4 of us agree on. That's why they're in the top 10. Is we're finally going to get to some that so far it's been 3 of us that agree on 3 of the 4 agree on this album being in the top 100. So, actually, I would say once we get to 7, so the top 7 are the top 7 because 4 of us put it on the list. That's why it's that way. You know, if somebody would have put, you know, one of those other albums on their list, it might have been higher. Who knows, you know. But anyway, so yeah. So I hope that was enjoyable, and we will see you next time for the last video of this fun series, which I'm kind of excited to do it again, actually, once I get Briar's. I'm kind of excited to see how that changes everything, because I think it's going to change a little bit when I get Briar's into the list as well. And we do redo our list. It's going to be different. Maybe more accurate. I don't know if this might not be the most accurate list for us.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more accurate.
The next list, I think, but it's still fun to kind of talk about and go, where does this, you know, belong up here? And I think I will stand by. I think this is a better list than the Rolling Stones top 100 albums. I'll die by that.
Definitely more than the Apple Music one. That one was
better than the Music one as well.
Was really bad. I mean, there was just one album that they put in number 1. I'm like, it's like the most DEI album that I've ever heard. Number 1.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like, that if it was like any other time, like if this was like made like 10 years ago, that album would have never been on that list, let alone number 1. But
like I can at least kind of get Marvin Gaye, like
what's going on.
Like
it
at
was
least kind of get that.
It was a DEI pick. I don't care. You can hate me for saying that, but I'm just saying it as it is. It was a DEI pick.
Yeah, I wonder how long that's going to stay. Like I said, Sgt. Pepper's was number 1 for a long time. And then What's Going On beat it out the last 2 times, I think. The 2020 version and the 2024 version. So I'd be curious if that will get beat out.
With Brian Wilson's passing, watch Pet Sounds be number 1 on the next list.
You know, what's weird? They're always number 2. They're always number 2. Like they're always like the best
for like a decade at least or more. I don't know. But yeah. All right. Anyways, thank you, Scott and Nick, for joining me, and we'll talk to you guys later. And I guess we're about the middle of the week, so have a rest of the great week, and hopefully you had a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys later.